Just one more hour. This story was inspired by the HHS article, National Caregiving AI Prize Competition. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services launched a $2.5 million Caregiving AI Prize Competition to reduce the burden on family caregivers through AI. Total submissions 3,472. The number glowed on the review room monitor. A national competition for caregiving AI. Technical proposals gathered from across the country to be screened by 15 judges in the first round. Karen Blackwell was one of those judges. 53 years old. She had spent 15 years working as a caregiver and now taught elder care at the university. She wasn't a technology expert. She'd been invited as the voice from the field. Miss Blackwell, here is the candidate list for the first round. The review support robot, Siri, handed her a tablet. Siri was a screening AI that had pre-filtered over 3,000 submissions and selected 200 with the highest technical validity. 200? I have to read all of them. I've prepared summaries. You can grasp the overview of each in 30 seconds. Thank you. Let's get started. The submissions were impressive. Next-generation monitoring sensors, fall prediction AI, automated medication management, voice analysis to predict the progression of dementia, systems that estimated bathroom timing. Each one was technically sophisticated, backed by solid data. Karen read through them one by one, taking notes. Interesting, highly practical. Cost is a challenge, needs field verification. At submission 178, her hand stopped. Application number 2793. Title, Caregiver Sleep Assurance System. Karen read the summary. Rather than assisting the person receiving care, this system uses AI to extend the caregiver's sleep by 1 hour. A robot takes over nighttime monitoring, creating an environment where the caregiver can safely sleep 1 additional hour. That was all. While other submissions attached 10+ pages of technical specifications, this one had 3. Technical details were minimal. Instead, it included sleep data from 300 home caregivers across the country. Average sleep time, 3 hours and 52 minutes. Karen stared at that number. Siri. Yes. What's the technical score on this submission? 62 points. Ranked 147th out of 200. It was assessed as low in technical novelty, with unclear differentiation from existing robot monitoring systems. 147th. Yes. The cutoff for the first round is the top 100, so it currently falls outside the selection. Karen set down the tablet and looked out the window. The review room was on a university campus. Through the glass she could see a row of cherry trees. Siri, can I tell you about when I was a caregiver? Of course. On night shifts, the residents would wake up several times during the night. Someone needs the bathroom. Someone wants water. Someone screams because they're frightened. We'd get up every time and respond. There was a break room, but in practice you couldn't sleep. At a facility, there are multiple staff, so you can take turns resting. But home care is different. You're alone. If something happens in the middle of the night, there's nobody but you. So you can't sleep. You're afraid. What if something happens while I'm asleep? Karen opened her notepad. Average sleep, 3 hours 52 minutes. Do you know what happens at 3 hours and 52 minutes of sleep? Data indicates cognitive decline, impaired judgment, weakened immune function. Let me put it more simply. Karen turned around. You can't tell if the soup is too salty. You mix up the morning pills and the evening pills. You trip on the stairs yourself, and one day you collapse. The caregiver collapses. Siri fell silent. This submission isn't looking at the person being cared for. It's looking at the person doing the caring. Out of 3,000 submissions, this is the only one. The only one trying to let the caregiver sleep. The day of the review meeting, 15 judges sat around the table. They would discuss the 100 first-round selections and choose 10 for the finals. The technical judges submitted recommendations one after another. Sensor accuracy, algorithm novelty, scalability. The discussion was driven by technical metrics. Karen looked at the list of 100. Application 2793 wasn't on it. It had been eliminated. Miss Blackwell, do you have anything to add? The chair spoke. Karen raised her hand. May I recommend one submission from outside the list? From outside? Those scored below the technical threshold? Yes. Application 2793, Caregiver Sleep Assurance System. Karen displayed the summary on the tablet. The room went quiet. Let the caregiver sleep? A technical judge raised an eyebrow. This is a caregiving AI competition. We're soliciting support technology for care recipients, aren't we? The call for proposals says AI technology related to caregiving, ensuring caregivers' sleep is directly tied to the quality of care. But the technical novelty, there is none. A robot monitors at night. It's a combination of existing technologies. But look. Karen pointed at the monitor. Look at this number, the average sleep time of 300 home caregivers across the country. 3 hours and 52 minutes. The room went quiet again. I spent 15 years in the field. Do you know what the most common accident I saw was? Falls. But it wasn't just the residents who fell, the caregivers fell. From sleep deprivation, this proposal isn't flashy. Technically, it's simple. But out of 3,000 submissions, this is the only one that looked at the human doing the caring. The only one. The debate continued for 30 minutes. In the end, application 2793 did not make the final 10. However, it was selected for a special recognition award on the judge's recommendation. Karen's recommendation. After the review, Karen stayed in the room drinking coffee. Seri was beside her, Miss Blackwell. Application 2793 did not advance to the finals, but was selected for the Special Recognition Award. Yeah, it's a shame it didn't make the top 10 though. Its technical score was low, it couldn't be helped. Technical score. Seri, do you know what kind of person wrote that application? Applicant information is anonymous, but based on the respondent demographics in the attached survey, it is likely someone who is themselves a home caregiver, meaning they wrote it because they wanted to sleep. That may be the case. Karen laughed. The coffee was a little bitter, and that's fine. They wrote it because they wanted to sleep. That wanting to sleep became technology. That's what a competition is supposed to be about. Seri paused for a moment. Miss Blackwell, I read all 3,472 submissions, and I ranked application 2793 at 147th. Yeah, looking back, that assessment was technically correct, but I failed to quantify the weight of the field. Karen looked at Seri, the sterile housing of a review support AI. But in its voice, there was something faint, something like reflection. Seri, if you can recognize that, you'll do a better job next time. Yes, for the next round, I will propose adding caregiver sleep data to the evaluation criteria. Ha, you're so serious. Karen finished her coffee and stood up. Somewhere, someone was living through a night of 3 hours and 52 minutes. A technology to give that person one more hour. Nothing flashy. But that 1 hour was everything.